Michael Jordan, this Last Dance series has been awesome for a lot of us younger folks, I think, because I didn't get a chance to grow up. I mean, I guess I was alive, but I didn't really have the recollection of what the hell was going on during these seasons. The Michael Jordan era of sports was not one that I recall. So this Last Dance has been a nice baptism into the world of what it was back in the day. Now, granted, Michael Jordan being a superstar and getting tired and all that stuff, and his dad passing away in the middle of a hell of a run, who was considered his best friend, especially in the fashion that happened, murdered, and this. I mean, it's insane to think about all that happening around the greatest basketball player of all time. But last night on episode 7 and episode 8, we really got a chance to look into why Michael Jordan said at the beginning of this whole thing that people are going to think he's a hole of the ass by the end of it. And I completely disagree. I understand that some people who have never played competitive sports, and I think Michael Jordan alluded to this yesterday, he said, well, people call you a tyrant and blah, 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 blah. And then he responded, who? That's you. You've never won anything, is what he said, which is very true, because I think a lot of these people who are super demanding. Now, there's a way of going about it. Now, him saying to a teammate, where your mouth at now, ho, right, in the middle of practice, and getting into a fist fight with Steve Kerr and trying to toughen up Scotty Burrow to make him more of a mean person, and the things he would say to people. Like, I assume there's a different way to go about it, but those people that are demanding of others are normally trying to set the standard for what they're expecting to be around them. Now, I didn't get a chance to play basketball with Michael Jordan. I would assume if I did, he would have been feeding me to rock outside instead of Paxson. That sucks for Paxson, but I did get a chance to watch Peyton Manning. Right? And Peyton Manning is one of those guys who's up in that echelon of being great and expecting others to be great and setting the standard. If Peyton Manning wanted to restart a period, we restarted a period. If Peyton Manning wanted to redo a rep or redo a drill or do anything like that, Peyton Manning did that. And I could assume that some people, and you've seen him get in altercations, whether it was with Jeff Saturday on the sideline or things of that nature. Fights happen in sports. Fights happen at practice. That is something that I don't want to say is very normal, but anytime you get a lot of competitive people into one area competing against each other, and maybe some trash is talking, there's millions and millions of dollars on the line. Every once in a while, tempers are going to flare. So I don't think the Steve Kerr Michael Jordan fight was really that alarming. But I think getting a chance to watch the way Jordan was trying to, ridicule others to get to his level, is what he said, was very interesting. I don't know how I would have handled it if I was one of the basketball players on the team. I think if I get to Michael Jordan, I go, okay, that's the standard. I'm going to do whatever he does, which is exactly what the Colts did whenever you see Peyton Manning. As soon as you go into that building, you see, oh, that man with a massive forehead and a resume that is much better than my resume will ever be. He's here early. He's here late. Whenever there's an off drill, he's not in a drill. He's running sprints across the field. On the field, if you're not catching the ball with two hands, you're not using perfect technique. You're not going the extra mile. He's telling you to get the hell off of the field. It's basically your guy, your leader saying, hey, this is what we expect around here. And I think that is something that I wish more people would get to experience. Because when you don't have that person, it's kind of like the standard is just kind of in the air somewhere. It's talked about. It's not really visualized. But whenever you have a guy like Jordan showing you exactly how this is going to be, like, yeah, I'm shooting this movie Space Jam, but I want to let you know, as soon as this is over, I'm going across the street to my Jordan gym that Warner Brothers built, and we're running games for 3 hours, and I'm lifting, and I'm going to get back into shape. That's the type of thing that you see, and you're like, okay, that guy's allowed to say whatever the hell he wants to say, because not only is he just talking the talk, he's walking the walk. And I think that was the most beautiful thing from last night. There was a couple different quotes that really stuck out to me. A couple different strokes. Whenever B.J. Armstrong pimped his game winner in the playoffs as a member of the Hornets, and then Michael Jordan looks at the camera and goes, he knew better than that. That is just such a hilarious thing to me. B.J. Armstrong, former teammate of his, has been in those practices where maybe somebody said something to Michael Jordan. He's been on the
He's been the beneficiary.
The beneficiary of this type of situation happening with somebody else saying something. So then he hits that game winner, stares down Jordan, stares down Scotty and Phil as a member of the Hornets, and all Jordan's reaction was, he knew better. How about George Karl going into dinner and not even saying hello to Michael Jordan whenever he's sitting there with Ahmad Ahmad Rashad, probably in Chicago. George Karl, coach of the Seattle Supersonics, walks in, sees him, just walks right by, doesn't say anything. And Michael Jordan goes, "You're coming into my town, into my restaurant, where I'm not going to pay this bill because I'm here, and you're not even going to say hello to me?" And he told Ahmad Rashad, "That's all I needed. All I needed was that." And then bang, he got buried. Then how about Gary Payton saying, "I was wearing on him, getting him tired, and all Jordan did was look at the clip and just start dying laughing. I had no problem with the glove." I mean, it's just all these little things that we're getting a peek inside is what I absolutely love. I love learning why greats are great. And I feel like this Last Dance thing has been just the perfect depiction at looking at the greatest of all time. Now, there's a lot of things in there that if LeBron did, a lot of people would lose their minds about. And there's been a lot of things that Jordan has done that a lot of people have said Jordan would have never done whenever LeBron does things. So I think it's impossible to judge the two. But man, Jordan, ultimate competitor, a human I wish I got a chance to play a sport alongside of. And I can't wait to watch episodes 9 and 10 next week. I'm actually kind of bummed about it, but I can't wait to be able to binge the entire thing straight through, because the bouncing around, by the way, last night was a little bit tough. They bring back Dennis Rodman again. Dennis Rodman's back on the team again. He's playing baseball. He's not playing baseball. Then it's just, it kind of got a little bit tough. It was obviously created for people to be able to binge right through, but man, I cannot wait for 9 and 10. Last night was definitely the best night of The Last Dance by far.
I liked when Jordan said, like, "Hey, like, I'm not asking anyone on my team to do anything that I'm not doing." So like they shouldn't have a problem with that. And I like how these guys like Jordan and Peyton, they realize it's a team sport, and they know how good they are, and they realize that if I'm going to be the legend that I deserve to be, I need to push these guys as much as I can.
The pack is only as strong as its weakest wolf.
How about the Pippen last shot too?
Oh yeah,
when he just sat it out.
Oh. Yeah, have you ever seen something like that?
Tony Kukoc hit 5 game winners his rookie year, and that one was a left-handed throw
smooth
that banked in off of the thing, game winner. Tony Kukoc comes from a war-torn country. He got double-teamed in the Olympics by the Dream Team. This guy's been buried. Jerry Krause liked him, which means everybody automatically hates him. And all Tony Kukoc did was just show up. And I thought about this. They made it to what, Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals or the Eastern Division round, whatever, semifinals?
Semifinals, yeah.
Without Michael Jordan? Has any of LeBron's team ever been able to do that? Answer, no. So I just would like to keep that. I'm not going to continue to do it. Okay, I can't continue to do it. But I have grown up in an era where all I heard was MJ wouldn't have done that, MJ wouldn't have done that, MJ wouldn't have done that. It's been nice to see that MJ was a human and that MJ was the ultimate competitor that everybody talks about. But that team making it to the playoffs and then ultimately falling off, and then Jordan coming back, being out of shape because he was in baseball shape. I mean, that's an incredible series of events. But Tony Kukoc, by the way, Phil Jackson knew they got a stone cold killer in him. We got this guy. Now, granted, Jordan, when he comes back, the ball is going to 23. I mean, 45, we like giving him the rock. Thank God he changed out of it, but we're giving the ball to 23. Kukoc, you're going to have to chill for a little bit. But Scottie Pippen going, nah, I ain't going in the game. You're not giving me the ball? Well, then what am I out there for? I'm not passing it to anybody. Get the hell out of here. If Kukoc misses that, Scottie Pippen's on top of the world. Kukoc makes it, Scottie Pippen, tail between the legs, head down, got to walk in that locker room. And I assume that was one of the most awkward walks in the history of Scottie Pippen's life. And then old buddy calling him out in a meeting, and then Scottie Pippen apologizing, moving forward. Things like that happen during a team's journey, but I don't think I've ever seen or heard of a basketball player going, nah, I'm out. What was that? That was in the finals? That was in the Eastern Conference?
Semis.
Playoffs.
Nah.
I'm not getting back in the game.
Nah. And then how about him with the, hey, pointing at the Jumpman logo, like, hey, come on back. Come on back. They're giving the ball to Kukoc now. I didn't even give it up. It was a fun night of Last Dance.